Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And in this particular lesson, we're going to go into this video, this series of videos that I have here. Okay?
We need to get...
So, I'm going to play this video and just chime in here and there on what she says. But this right here shows you that America is at a crossroads. Okay? America is on the brink of a civil war. America is on the brink of financial collapse. Okay? And these Egyptians here in America are going to lose their mind. And the Lord is setting them against each other. You Edomites against you Edomites. All right? Because as we're going to play in the next video, you have Amalek, who all of the who has everything, and his brethren, who are also part of Esau, who are also Edomites. They're getting nothing. Okay, they're getting everything taken away from them. So now this is what they're calling for. So without further ado,
down to brass tacks. The picture above me explains where we are right now, a fork in the road. But a lot of us aren't ready to face that fact yet. Let me explain. The first clip I want to show you is of Steve Bannon. He's one of Trump's main advisors. This is from a PBS Frontline documentary that recently came out. I want you to see where MAGA's mindset is on their progress right now.
Here's what we know. If you take power and exert it, this system's not so tough. You know why? They're all gutless cowards. The university administrators, they're not that tough. The big law firms, they're not that tough. The media, look who's cratered. How many times? Look how they're settling with Trump. They're not tough. We're resilient, we're anti-fragile, and we're tough. The people around Trump are battle-hardened, okay? You're not going to scare us, and we're not going to stop. And what we know is you guys are a bunch of you will crater. PBS is going to crater. You don't believe actually at your core in what you're trying to do. And you'll fold, like the law firms, like the universities, like the media, like all of these institutions. You will fold because we're relentless, and we're not going to stop.
When I hear Steve talk about us being weak, it's not that we don't have standards. It's not that we don't have ethics or thresholds. It means because he knows that when they steamroll over our constitutional laws, that we will come back with signs on a sidewalk and strongly worded letters. Meanwhile, they have already removed the institutions and the checks and balances that we rely on to keep our government in check. Next, I want to introduce you to Tad Stormer. He studies and is an expert in resistance history. He's going to tell you about what we've been relying on to work and why it's actually not working currently.
First it was, the Constitution will save us. Then the courts will stop this. Then Congress might impeach him again. Or Jamie Raskin's subpoenas, or Hakeem Jeffries' baseball bat, or a Cory Booker speech, or maybe just walk out of a committee vote. That'll get him. Too bad about PBS. Let's push send on a tweet. And now it's, we just need to get enough people in the streets. 3.5%, let's hit it. And it's all the same delusion, that there's a fix out there that doesn't require sacrifice. That if we hit the right number or file...
Then when he's saying sacrifice, what he's really saying is rebellion against federal government. That you're willing to go out on the streets and put your life on the line to fight against the government that's imposing these things amongst the people. That's what they're really saying. And that goes in the 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, as we're going to get.
The right lawsuit, hold the right march. The system will self-correct. That there will be some sort of restoration. But it won't, because the system, the American system, is already doing exactly what it was designed to do over 200 years. Protect power, absorb pressure, and wait you out. Steve Bannon knows that. Stephen Miller knows that. You need to know it.
No King's Day was historic. It showed a lot of us that we're not alone. And for other people, it showed us how many of us are actually willing to fight.
Now listen to this bitch. You know, she talking all this nonsense, but watch how she ends it.
This regime. So why is it not enough? Why hasn't anything really changed? And where do we go from here? That brings us back here, the fork in the road. In one direction, We know what lies ahead. Tyranny, loss of control, loss of freedoms. While I think that this road is pretty gross, I feel like it's anti-American, anti-constitutional. What concerns me is that for some people, taking the road that has a known outcome still might be more comfortable than the alternative. It's literally written out for us in Project 2025 and now as we know Project Esther, what they plan to do. And for some people, just keeping their heads down and their mouths shut, they think somehow might mitigate their fate. Well, on this side is the road that Tad Stormer told us about. It's the side that actually requires real sacrifice. He talks about putting real pressure on the system, pressure that forces them to pivot, forces them to adjust, forces them to take another road themselves. And quite honestly, not enough of us are ready to take that road yet, to put real pressure, to make real sacrifices to put that pressure on the regime. Tad told us it's a mistake to wait on the institutions to save us. How many of us have said we're waiting for the 2026 midterms to turn the ship around? All we have to do is take some seats back in Congress. And while we wait for that to happen, more and more of our institutions are being shredded in front of our eyes. This is where I'm going to keep it very real for all of you. Take a look at Project 2025. Take a look at Project Esther. They are literally a playbook in military style. And if you think about the military or a paramilitary institution with a mission, they don't just have Plan A. They have Plan A, B, C, and D. They don't invest this much money and resources to leave it to chance. And what are we trying to combat that with? Grassroots organizations that are completely disconnected. And our establishment Democrats are telling us, now's not the time to rock the boat. And if we want to use boats for the analogy, the other side is working with aircraft carriers, and we're working on plugging holes in our life raft. I didn't really want to be this blunt, but we are motherfucking here. We all need to decide, and by we, I mean our Democratic leaders and then the rest of us. Are we going to really sacrifice to put our mission in place, to come up with a unified plan, to make sure that we have a plan A, B, C, and D, just like the other side, to fight them back with a mission as strong as theirs? Do we believe in it like Tad says we need to? Because if we don't, and if that's not going to happen right here and right now, then we need to brace for impact, and we need to help those who are going to suffer the most to brace for impact. The people who are going to lose their Medicaid and lose their SNAP, how are we going to...
That shit, look, what you talking about, that's going to happen anyway, regardless to what road you go. If you let them do it, you're going to lose your Medicaid, your SNAP, and all your benefits, okay? And there ain't going to be no comfort for that, all right? Let's go back to that Isaiah, all right? Isaiah 19 and 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. You see? So all this damn planning and everything that you're talking about and coming up with a plan, none of that is not going to work, because the Lord is going to destroy the counsel. He's going to destroy the planning. He's going to destroy all of that stuff. You're not going to have bright minds to try to think of a way out of this. That's not going to happen. You are locked in. It says, and they shall, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, all of your charmers and familiar spirits and all these things that you've been calling out to, your idols, your gods. They're on the left hand side. They're going to be silent. Okay, they're going to be silent. You're not going to know what to do because it's done. Your kingdom is over with. That's why these things are happening. You cannot remove your necks from this. The Lord has devised an evil that you will not remove your necks from. Okay. And it says, and they shall seek the idols and the charmers, and to them they shall have familiar spirits and wizards, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And that's Donald Trump. And it also brings me over to this guy right here. Because
help them break
this guy.
We need to get
right
down to
here,
brass tacks.
Hold up.
From this final.
That's not what I want to see.
That over there is the kitchen.
Yeah, here it is right here. That moves me to this video right here. So you see, the whole entire Congress is bought and paid for by the Ish people and Mr. Milkowski here. Okay, Benjamin Milkowski. All right. So you see that, right? So now you know why all your stuff is getting taken away. All right. These people, they don't care about you other Edomites, man. All right. And the people that are on the top have completely sold out to these people. They've sold you out. They sold y'all out. All right. So let's go back to that. All right. And then it says, and the Egyptians I will give over unto the hands of a cruel Lord. Okay. You're not getting out of this. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, the Lord of hosts. All right. So, hey, Donald Trump, Mr. Milkowski, a foreign leader, right, is the one that's in control of the operations here in America. This is why they keep doing the shit that they're doing. And, you know, there is evidence, which I believe it to be true, that Donald Trump has converted over to Judaism. So he works for them. All right. So let's go to the 1611. Okay. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus 15. Say 13. All right, Slackers. So we're going to go to, my bad, it was Ezra's. So we're going to go to 2nd Ezra's, the 15th chapter. 2nd Ezra's 15. And I'm going to start at verse 13. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand and fight up against another with swords in their hands. And that's the Egyptian versus the Egyptian, right? That's the Babylonians fighting against one another, aka Americans, right? And one people shall fight against and one people shall stand and fight against another with swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men. This is going into that first video, how the people of America are no longer going to listen to the authorities in this country. They see that these people are completely bugged out and out of control, so they're not going to listen to them anymore. And they're going to start doing their own thing, okay, with their own form of justice. You're going to have some people that's going to cling on to that darn Constitution, and you have some people that's going to usher in the new system, okay? So and then you're going to have some people that's going to be against them both, all right? So then there's going to be a war. It's about to be a lot of death, and not to mention the famine, all right? And it says, they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because they're going to shut the cities down. All right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and shall spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right? So, hey, this is it. This is the fork in the road. This is the place that we've been telling you for the longest of times that this is about to happen, and it's here. Okay? So with that, I pray this was the edifying lesson. Until the next time I say shalom.